card series. Today we're going to be using 3 different stamp sets, but the main focus of our card is going to be this Endless Wishes stamp set. The stamp set is available in the holiday catalog for 2014. It is a photopolymer stamp set, and I love the scripty as well as the typeset font. And then we're going to use these 3 snowflakes plus Merry and Christmas on our card today. We're also going to use the Holiday Home stamp set and then a retired stamp set from Celebration, but there are coordinating stamp sets in the catalog, and I'll talk about that as soon as we get there. So let's get started. Today I'm going to be using this iridescent ice embossing powder, and I know I embossed on my last card, but this idea came to me over the weekend. I actually haven't even made this card before. You'll be making it right along with me. So it's all about getting the idea in my head onto this paper and hoping that it works out. So we're going to be embossing with this. I think this is beautiful. If you don't have this iridescent ice embossing powder, I highly recommend it. And if you don't, you could also use heat and stick powder and our dazzling diamonds to get the same effect. So I'm going to start out by using a couple Post-it notes. Oh, this piece, I'm using Strawberry Slush today. It's cut at 4 1/4 and scored at 5 1/2. And I'm going to use some Post-it notes to cover up the score line to protect the top of our card, because we're going to be stamping and I don't want any stamping on the back of my card. I'm going to use an embossing buddy, since we're embossing, to add powder to my area. That way the embossing powder doesn't stick where we don't want it to. And of course I'm going to use Versamark ink. My ink pad looks a little rough, but it still works great, I promise you. So I'm going to take the largest snowflake. I have it mounted on my block, and we're going to get started. So let me scoot my paper so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. So when they're a little bit larger, actually I just kind of do this for all my stamps. I like to take the ink pad to the stamp. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a visual triangle. So I'm going to start in this corner. I'm going to kind of offset it. And then I really should have put some scrap paper down, and I forgot. Let's see if I have some. I don't. That's okay. I'll clean my surface. And then I'm going to stamp one over here, making sure I really get that middle. Good. And then one finally on this last side. This is just to ensure that we're going to have balance with our images. And I'm going to turn it every time I stamp it, so it's going a different direction. Okay, I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Scrub and some stamping mist, and I'm going to clean this before I switch to a new snowflake. So you just peel off the snowflake and put on the next size. And again, I'm going to do a visual triangle. And this time I'm going to start on this side. Come over here. And then once more down here. And again, I'm going to take my Stampin' Scrub. There is a wet side and a dry side, so you wet it and then you dry it. Okay, and I'm going to mount the tiny little snowflake, excuse me. And I'm going to kind of fill in. I'm going to go ahead and bring back in my mid snowflake and add some more. do one more up here. And that looks pretty good. Okay, let me bring in my embossing powder, and surely I have a piece of scrap paper. Here we go, I got a piece of baked brown sugar that we'll use. I don't have this embossing powder in any kind of container yet, so I need to work on that. Oh gosh. Glitter, glitter everywhere. So I'm gonna pour this on. This is absolutely gorgeous, but whoa, is it gonna be messy. Like, whoa. Gonna have some areas where it did stick, mainly where I touched it like a crazy person. So if you have a brush, you can just remove that. My brush isn't nearby. Some of this is going to be covered though. So let me funnel this back in. Hopefully I can funnel this back in. If not, just laugh at me because I made a huge mess with embossing powder. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and put this in a frog tape container. I have one sitting right here. Let's do that. Hopefully I remember to edit this part out so you don't have to watch me put my embossing powder away like a crazy person. Okay, good grief. Okay, so I'm gonna heat set this. So very pretty. Oh my gosh, can you guys see all that sparkle? So pretty, oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take I'm gonna let this, actually I'm gonna set that to the side and let it cool off for a minute. Okay, I'm gonna move on with my card. I'm gonna take a piece of Whisper White and I'm gonna go ahead and cut a circle, punch a circle with the 2.5 inch circle punch. And next I have a house that I already cut out from the Holiday Home stamp set. The first time I saw this stamp set, I immediately thought gingerbread. So what I've done, and I did this off camera, and actually made another card that you can see on my blog with this exact image, so I did two. But all I did was white heat emboss it on baked brown sugar, and I think it looks exactly like gingerbread. So I absolutely love that. So I'm gonna set that aside. I've cut a piece of brown sugar cardstock to be about 1 inch by 5 inches, or 1.5 inches by 5, and I've just kind of cut off the end at an angle. Then we're going to take the Banner Blast stamp set from, again, it was from Celebration last year, but we have several Banner stamp sets in the catalog that coordinate. So let me grab, I'm going to use Coastal Cabana and Strawberry Slush, and I'm going to do 3 Coastal Cabana banners and then 2 Strawberry Slush. And I'm using the striped banner because it looks like a candy cane to me. Okay, let me pull my Stamp and Scrub back in. Still wet, so we'll clean that off real quick. Okay, I'm going to move on to my Strawberry Slush. All right. And the last little bit of stamping that I need to do before I put my block and my ink away is to stamp our sentiment. And I'm going to stamp our sentiment. Again, I'm using the Merry and the Christmas from the Endless Wishes stamp set. This is a piece of paper cut at 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to line my sentiment up so it's straight. Sorry if my big head gets in the way, or if you can't see that. And I'm going to scoot it down because I have to have room for the other sentiment, Misty. Okay, and then I'm going to pick it up. There's lines on this block, so I'm going to pick it right up. And then I'm going to take my baked brown sugar. No, I'm not. I'm going to take my strawberry slush and do Merry and the strawberry slush. And I'm going to come over to the left a little bit because I'm going to banner the end and I need a room for Christmas to fit. So there's Merry. And then here is Christmas. Make sure it's straight on my block. Just making sure it's straight on the block. Let me do the other side so I don't get it all over my project like a crazy person. Okay. And I'm just going to put this Christmas right underneath. Awesome. Yay! Okay, pretty. Next, I'm going to take the banner punch and I'm going to punch out our banners after I close my baked brown sugar. This is why, this is real life, right, people? This is what happens when you just sit down to create. You don't have a real plan. You're just going through the motions. So I'm going to take this and line that up. Hopefully you can see that. And I don't want any white border. And then you're going to punch. Okay, great. So there's our 3 Fusto Cabana and our 2 strawberry slush. Okay, so now let's make this card come together. Please. I'm gonna use liquid glue and I'm gonna take our circle and I'm gonna run some liquid glue along the side. Okay, hopefully you can see that. And then I'm going to take my banner pieces and I'm going to attach it to the back. Okay. Isn't that cute? I love when a plan comes out of my head the way I'd hoped it would. I could be a little bit more organized this video, but again, you know, sometimes crafting isn't neat and organized. Okay, so now I'm going to bring my card base back in and I'm going to use my bone, actually I'm just going to use my finger. No, I'm going to use a bone folder. And I'm going to go ahead and flatten down that fold. Okay, I'm going to take some snail and attach my piece of brown sugar, baked brown sugar. And I want it a little bit over. Okay, then I'm going to take some snail and attach this down as well. And if you watched any of my videos, I always use a lot of adhesive because I don't want this stuff coming off. Okay, then I'm going to take a couple of dimensionals to attach our house. Actually, I'm going to take 4. Don't even let me lie to you that I'm only going to use, I'm going to use 5. Again, my cards go through the mail, and I really would hate for something to fall off. So just call me the dimensionals queen. And they're hard to get off because unfortunately I bite my nails. I've tried to break the habit. It's just hard. Okay, so I'm gonna pop up our little house. And I popped it on crooked. Turn it a little bit. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna attach our sentiment to this piece of Coastal Cabana. It measures 5/8 of an inch. It's just 1/8 of an inch bigger than the piece of Whisper White. So I'm gonna put those together. Okay, and let's see. Do I want it on top of the house? Do we want it below the house? I think, what do you guys think? Right there? So maybe right here. Okay. Grab my scissors. Okay, I'm gonna just cut this off. And then I'm gonna banner the end. Hindsight, I probably would have made the Coastal Cabana a little bit longer. But yeah, I wasn't thinking. Okay, so I'm gonna pop a dimensional on the end, both ends, and add snail to the middle. Bring it down a little bit. Bring it down a little bit, Misty. There we go. What do you guys think? Totally cute. Oh my gosh. Way cuter than I thought it would be, but it came out exactly as I had planned. If I had it to do all over again, which I might, I would probably emboss this piece of baked brown sugar. And it definitely needs rhinestones. Let me grab some rhinestones. It needs a little blingy bling 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 bling. So let me use some big ones on the end. Can I get 3 to fit? Maybe not. Poot. Poot. Scoot it over. And then one more rhinestone will fit. Look at that. Cute, cute, cute. Now, in that holiday home stamp set, if you haven't seen it, there's a wreath, there's lights, there's all sorts of things that you can do to decorate your gingerbread house. You can white emboss it, or you can just stamp it and color it in. Another thing is you could just stamp it in white and then color it. That would be really cute too. Now, I'm going to leave the inside blank because I'm not quite sure what I want to put on the inside. You can always white heat emboss on this. You could also stamp in strawberry slush and do like a tone on tone. Or you can put in a white layer, you know, a white mat, and stamp some snowflakes at the bottom and your sentiment in the middle. So the possibilities really are endless. So thanks so much for sticking around with me. Like I said, I really didn't have a plan per se. I did have an idea of what I wanted, and I think it turned out really cute. And I'll have pictures at the end so you can see it up close. I'm filming at night, so the color may be a little washed out. So thanks so much for joining me for day 2 of this rebooted holiday card series. If you like it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know that you like these kind of videos, and let YouTube know that you like these kind of videos as well. And I would love if you would subscribe so you get more of these videos coming your way. I'm going to try to do at least 12. I'm not going to make you any promises, but that is kind of my goal, to do at least 12. And I would love an opportunity to earn your Stampin' Up! Business. So if you don't already have a demonstrator, please check me out. I'm at the Jolly Fat Elf. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Just look for the Jolly Fat Elf, and I'll have links to where you can shop 24/7 in the Inslate. So thanks so much for joining me, guys. I hope you have an amazing week. Thanks. Bye-bye.